My sister is turning into the biggest bridezilla, and I can't stop laughing. So, a little background. I am the second youngest of 5 kids. My older siblings are 2 brothers and 1 older sister, who we'll call X for the purposes of this post. X and I have a 5-year age gap. As a result, we never really had that sisterly bond you would expect most sisters to have. Growing up, I was always a burden to her, and anytime it was my turn to pick the family movie, or really anything, she would get upset. The reason being is that she had control issues as early as 9. A 9-year-old with control issues? No thanks.
That's my Barbie! Give it to me! What? Change her feelings! Mine now.
So I'm guessing you can see where this is going.
Absolutely.
I'm currently 18, about to turn 19.
Woohoo!
And X turned 24 earlier this year. Her boyfriend, Y, proposed to her at a family beach day earlier in June of this year. It was one of those big white letters and rose petals proposals, which he set up before my family arrived. She was thrilled, said yes, and my parents were happy along with my older siblings. The youngest is 4, so I don't think she understood what was happening. Now here's the drama. Since the proposal, she's gone into full bridezilla mode. At the behest of my mom, X made me a bridesmaid. So I'm roped into all the BS, and so far, these are the demands my dear sister has made.
Hello, my bride tribe. I am so excited for my wedding. So I just wanted to do a quick little Zoom call so that we can go over my expectations. I have a little list. Whatever the bride wants. 1, all bridesmaids are expected to pay for their own dress, shoes, hair, and makeup. The dress is around $300, and you will also be expected to pay for alterations. 2, all bridesmaids need to attend all wedding and bachelorette events, including the bachelorette spa day, $800 each, the bachelorette vacation weekend to Toronto and stay at the Fairmont Hotel, around like ballpark $2,000 each. The dress appointments, even if it's only for me. All things to do with the wedding, you'll need to test the cake, the venue, you do the catering, etc. I believe the cake and food tasting is like $25 each. And lastly, the guests and the bridal groom party need to pay $150 to reserve their spots.
What?
And gifts either have to be cash, check, or in the form of gift registry items, okay? I don't want just anything. They have to be on the approved list. And I did send a spreadsheet, check your email. I will be returning items that aren't from my registry or items that don't match my theme, okay? I think that's it. Does anyone have questions? Oh, I'm so sorry. There's another page, silly me. So all bridesmaids will need to pay for their hair and skin appointments every 6 weeks. I want to ensure your hair and skin look flawless for my big day.
Come on, why do we have
Anyone with tattoos will need to cover them. I want to be the only one with tattoos at my wedding. And everyone will need to have a natural hair color. So if you don't, you'll have to wear a wig or dye it at your expense. So next, and I know that this will be like a little bit of a sore spot for you, but I just want you to look your best. The bridesmaids' dresses only come in sizes 00 to 10. So anyone who's like a little bit bigger than that will need to just tighten things up for the wedding. Oh, by the way, Lucy, I have this amazing keto book that I swear by. I will send you a link on Amazon. My future hubby and I won't be communicating with anyone, any of the vendors directly. That is your job. So I made a Gmail with last name wedding, which you will all have access to. Please don't bother me with silly details. Don't ask me if something's okay. You should just know, okay? And lastly, we need to remind the guests that they also need to pay a deposit of $150 to save their spot to the wedding. And if you don't get this deposit from them, they're uninvited. We also need them to confirm what they're going to be purchasing from the registry or the dollar amount that they're gonna give. Okay, now I'm really done. Any questions?
Is this normal? Something tells me the attendance for this wedding's gonna be pretty low. My mom says it's bride anxiety. Your mom made this monster. I say it's just my sister trying to control everything because she wants a December wedding on a ski hill. Blah. Anyways, I figure if people are interested, I could update periodically on what happens. Thanks for reading. Yeah, we're gonna need those updates, bestie. Oh, and we have the updates, don't worry. All right, so we have some relevant comments by OP, additional context. Overall, she's gonna have to accept the fact that finances rule a lot of people's lives, and if she's not gonna come back down to earth, it's going to keep people from being able to participate, like you. OOP responds, that's what I try to tell her, but she won't listen. Her fiance makes $120 a year as a tech dude, and she's an accountant making 100K herself, so it's easy for her to afford this. I mean, even if she can afford it, it's like, maybe she can afford her own wedding. But like, if she could easily afford all of that, then she should also, quite frankly, be footing the bill for some of these like really extravagant events. Tell your mom and sister you won't participate until someone pays all of your costs. Your mom should not try to keep the peace when your sister is a raging harpy. I hope her fiance backs out. He won't. He loves her spice. He's a very calm man though, so they match really well. He's the only one who can calm her down. That's fine that he can calm her down and stuff, but like there's other people who are being affected by her spiciness. How does his family feel about the admissions fee to his wedding? It's normal on his side of the family. They say it's normal in Italian families, which I just found out it isn't.
What?
It is definitely not normal in Italian families, and I can tell you that much. Mom! Mom, are you here? Question for you, since you're Italian. Guys, my parents are here. Is it normal in an Italian wedding for people to have to pay a $150 deposit?
Honestly, I never heard of it.
She said, honestly, I've never heard of that. Thanks, Mom. OOP also added, the problem for me is that I can't afford it without going into debt for my student loans. Interest on student loans right now is 26%, so I'm afraid to be in debt. Tell your mom you don't have that sort of money. Tell Sis she's free to include you out of the wedding party. Bestie, they're still gonna have to pay $150 to be a guest. You will probably find that you will lead the charge. She has 13 bridesmaids, 12 bridesmaids, and 1 maid of honor. And it's to match the fraternity class of her fiance. He had 13 people he became brothers with in his class. I don't know what that means, but it's special. So if I drop out, 2 of the guys will need to walk together.
Let them. Just let them.
So OP, based on these comments, did confront her sister.
Listen, I know you're getting married and I want to be able to be there for you, but I can't afford all this. You know, you are my sister and a bridesmaid. It is your responsibility to find a way to pay for this.
I'm gonna go into debt for your wedding.
You always do this. It is my day.
It's not like that.
My day.
Okay, hold on. Wait, come on. Mom and dad are paying for the wedding, almost $100,000, so they can't give me $2,000 for my expenses. I'm going to uni in the fall and my tuition is $17,000. Weird parental choices here, $100K for a wedding but let a child pay for their own tuition? Did your sister go to college? I'd be asking my parents to pay my college fees and tell them I won't want a $100,000 wedding. Equal money to the kids. Also, if they can spring for $100K, then what's another 2? Literally, I find that a little odd that they're willing to fork out $100,000 for your sister's wedding, but they won't pay your tuition. Tuition has always been ours to pay. Mom and dad save for everyone's wedding and honeymoon. OP added an edit. Y'all are making me realize my family isn't normal. No, they're not. Like the fact that your mom is just kind of like letting this happen and is totally fine with you having to take on all of this extra expense for her daughter's wedding is nuts. This is nuts. Someone needs to tell your sister that this is crazy.
This is crazy. You're crazy.
I'm gonna look into therapy with my uni and seeing if I can move into residence earlier. I texted my mom, I'm at work right now, if her dad and I can talk about it while X is gone to her fiance's for the night. I'm hoping to show my mom and dad this post to help them understand where I'm coming from. I'm gonna take some time away from this just because a lot of you are right. This isn't normal. Our relationship as a family is not normal. I called my aunt while I was at work. For those of you who don't know, she's my godmother and thinks my mom is nuts. And we talked about it. She's encouraging me to talk to my parents about everything, not only the wedding, but favoritism since childhood. And she's also on standby in case things go to My shift at work finishes in a few hours. I'm gonna go home and pack a quick bag of stuff for my aunt to grab before my parents and I talk. On to the update. Firstly, I just want to apologize for how long this has taken. My parents originally planned to talk that night, but my mom said she wasn't feeling good and decided to go to sleep early.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
And that feeling stayed for a while. We then got busy moving my sister into her fiance's place, and by the time everything settled, my parents forgot we had something to discuss and brushed it off to the side. We finally had the conversation 2 days ago, and I needed a day to think and react. So, turns out my dad never knew the whole story. He knew he was responsible for paying for my sister's dress and a portion of the wedding or honeymoon. The reason for this is that my parents told me, dad confirmed with bank records, that my parents had been setting up $25,000 accounts for myself and each of my siblings. The rule was that these accounts could be used for anything once we turned 19 and went off to post-secondary. It was our money to use. I just turned 19 and my dad was getting ready to sign the money over to me when we had this conversation, which caused a bit of a blow up, but right now I need to give some background info I I was given. Right after sister got engaged, she apparently had a conversation with my mom about how she always felt like the child left out. She's used this line before, so I do believe my mom fell for it and was guilt-tripped.
Hook, line, and sinker.
As a result of a very long conversation, my mom figured she could divert some of the funds from all of the kids' accounts to pay for my sister's wedding.
What?
Oh, absolutely not. For those wondering, my 2 older brothers are in the military. They aren't married yet and live on base. They never use their $25,000 because the Army in Canada pays for your education, housing, etc. So my mom had $50,000 at her disposal. Did they know that the money was given to her? Oh, this is about to get really messy, I can tell. Then, combined with my sister's and my $25K, it would have been $100K. Mom figured that because I had $17,000 saved up, she could just give me my $25K later for a car or a house payment or wedding.
That's not how this is supposed to work.
My sister did this because, again, she's a master manipulator. Thank you to the wonderful Redditors who sent me to various subreddits for narcissism and support, along with those who sent articles on it to me. She used some of my mom's mental and physical health conditions against her. When I was born, my mom went through very bad PPD, resulting in her leaving to a treatment facility for 4 months, leaving my sister, 2 brothers, me, and my dad behind. My 2 older brothers were 9 and 7, and me only a few months. Sister, for reference, was 5 or just shy of 5. Since my brothers were trouble, my dad had his hands full, and a live-in nanny did stuff for me. So my sister had little to no attention at an age where attention is important. I think that triggered the bad sides of her to come out. While the nanny did help sister with the basics, food, water, bathe, clothes, a little play, she wasn't a replacement for mom. I feel like I can kind of empathize with that. But again, like I've said this before in videos, like everybody is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. Before you judge others and others' behavior, just know that they are dealing with trauma. Everyone has it, but it is your responsibility to get your trauma in check and not use it to, number 1, manipulate others or make life difficult for other people. You are responsible for how you treat other people, and I will die on this hill. I can empathize with your trauma, but I don't have to tolerate disrespect. When my mom came back, my sister had a huge grudge, but not to mom. To me. I was the reason mom left. Over my childhood, sister used manipulation to get what she wanted. And she did it for the wedding too. Mom felt bad and decided to give her little Dove everything she desired.
She got a trip to New York. I want a trip to Miami. Why does she get a car and I don't? I'm older. I should get more money. It's always about her. Everyone loves her more than me.
This is the thing about people who like play the victim and play on guilt. They've learned that in order to get what they want out of life, playing the victim is the easiest way. Like your mom probably feels incredibly guilty about what happened when she was a baby. She probably feels guilty for how your sister ended up and now kind of wants to make up for that. But all it's doing is kind of reinforcing these bad habits and bad behaviors. As a result of this, Dad and I grew very close. He's my best friend. My sister and I had a decent relationship when I was 12 to 14, but it changed again when mom got pregnant with youngest sister. It was an accident, and I became the target again. While I know it doesn't excuse a lot of things, I figured it would be important to give you all the whole story. It does help me understand. It helps me understand also because I've dealt with stuff like this firsthand. I have family members that are like this. I have friends that are like this. And don't get me wrong, like it worked. Like it worked for a little while. The guilt tripping and the victim mentality and, just so worried that I would, not be there for a person in their time of need that I felt the need to just overcompensate. But it also led to a lot of resentment and them learning that it's easier to play the victim than it is to take responsibility. Update part 2. So now that the back info is done, here's what happened. A day after sister moved out, I asked my mom and dad to please finally have the conversation with me. My mom was feeling better, so we sat down and we were talking.
This isn't fair.
Honey, please.
You need to calm down.
Yelling didn't solve anything.
No, we use our language.
No, this is such a big financial burden.
Honey, your father and I agreed that this was best for your sister.
No, I did not. I did not agree to that.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about it in
No, I
front
want to
of
talk
her.
about this right now. What are you talking about? I never said any of that.
Well, Dad blew up. He didn't know about the $100,000 or the things the sister was doing. He didn't like the fact that mom used a lot of your father and I agree talk even though they hadn't. I showed group chat screenshots. We worked through the wedding issue. I don't have to attend. And the $25,000 for me issue, Dad is signing it over early.
Go to your room
Okay,
right
all right,
now.
we're doing this.
No, we're doing this right now. Oh, no, I hear you. I hear you.
need
No,
to
I
be
do. No,
heard.
our daughters are always fighting, and it's because of you. You put us against each other. Honestly, it drives me nuts.
not my
You know
fault.
what?
I had ADD.
I am done. I am done.
Dad then asked why I didn't feel comfortable to talk to them earlier, so I showed them this post. My dad snapped. He immediately called my sister and told her to come here ASAP because he needed to talk to her and would not accept excuses. She said she would be here in 4 hours because she was with fiance and his parents. Dad pressed and she hung up and blocked him.
Son of a... You done messed up, Aaron!
Dad told me to go to my room once again, but to leave my phone so they could go over the post and see the comments. I don't know exactly what happened, but Mom came to talk to me later. She told me about the PPD, etc. I didn't know about it earlier. We solved our issues and I finished by asking if sister would go to therapy. Because Mom's convinced that the 4-month leave caused this stuff in her, Mom said she'd try, but can't force. I told her if sister doesn't go, I'm going no contact with her, and possibly low contact with Mom. It's one thing to feel guilty about like not being there for your sister, but that's also like not really her fault either. Like she shouldn't feel guilty for having mental health issues. Furthermore, I think at the time your sister didn't really understand what was going on, but she's an adult now. She can't keep playing that card because it's not like,
Oh, Mom left.
and now she has all these mommy issues. Like once you get older and you kind of understand mental health and PPD especially, you cannot really blame the mother. Dad then joined the convo and assured me I would get my money and I wouldn't have to go to the wedding if I didn't want to. Since my sister is charging $150 per guest, she can pay for her grandiose wedding through that. Oh, that is music to my ears. If you're charging a cover charge for your wedding, that'll definitely cover some expenses. The issue though is that I don't know that many people will want to show up if there's like a requirement to give a gift. I also may have understood that incorrectly, but it sounds like there's also a cover charge and people have to get a gift from the registry. So I don't know. Soon to be brother-in-law and his family aren't paying for anything apparently. Oh, interesting. So now they have to, or sister doesn't get to have her ski hill wedding. Speaking of the $150 fee, y'all were right. It was sister who concocted the whole thing and told Mom it was an Italian thing. I knew it. We talked to sister's mother-in-law when she dropped off sister. Sister doesn't drive. And mother-in-law was shocked that sister had said that. There is apparently a money dance, but no $150 fee. So on to what happened when sister came back. She came in after 5 hours, and while mother-in-law was there, she was sweet as pie. But when mother-in-law left, oh Lord, the gates of hell broke loose.
Okay, what was so important that you needed to ruin our beautiful evening?
Sit down.
No.
Sit down or I'm gonna tell your mother-in-law what you did.
There was a lot of angry yelling back and forth and a lot of manipulation from my sister, including threats of low contact, no contact, or no seeing possible grandkids in the future. She was trying to get Mom to go back to the original plan, $100,000, and Mom and Dad weren't budging.
Oh, you know what? She's fat and lazy and she could lose a few pounds.
She is not fat!
The fighting continued and stopped when my dad yelled, saying Mom isn't her punching bag and her PPD was not her fault. And if she was that angry about it, go to therapy.
Okay, well, if you're gonna keep attacking me, I'm gonna call an Uber and I'm gonna
You
leave.
can just go.
You can. Get out of the house.
Just leave.
You guys are gonna behave like this. I'm gonna cut off all contact between you and your future grandchildren.
Make like a tree and leave. I will not deal with this petulance.
What your I love your puns, honey.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so great. Ew. Oh, Peter. Get a room.
Get out!
And that's what's up. We were gonna wait until Christmas time when brothers were back in town so we can discuss what we need as a family to go forward and be healthy. But most likely, will be therapy or cutting sister out. Mom and Dad are still figuring out the full budget issue with my sister's in-laws. My parents told them that for such a wedding to happen, everyone would need to contribute. In-laws agreed that $100,000 for a wedding is insane. Last I heard, sister will get her $15,000 for the wedding, which is basically $5,000 because $10,000 dress, since it's already ordered. The other $10K is being held for something tangible. And then her in-laws are being generous and helping with $15,000. 10 to wedding, 5 to honeymoon. As for my schooling, Dad and I are going to the bank and we're going to pay the cancellation fee for the loan I had to take out. The loan officially starts when I go to school, so thankfully the cancellation fee is very small. My dad is paying for the fee because he admits I should have never had to take the loan out. My parents agreed that my first year of university, along with housing costs, will not come out of my budget, the $17K or the $25K, so they will pay themselves. The full amount they budgeted for me is going to be transferred into something called a TFSA for later in life. That's a tax-free savings account.
It's free real estate.
While mom and I still have a somewhat rocky relationship, sister absolutely hates me. She blamed me for everything.
Typical.
And said I have caused irreparable damage to her relationship with her fiance and in-laws. Because of this, she's banned me from her wedding and from her life. I mean, it kind of sounded like you were gonna go no contact and not go to the wedding anyway, but like, whatever. Honestly, I don't care. I don't really see it as losing a sister. I see it as losing a bully. I made a promise to my mom and dad that I would never treat my younger sister like that. I'm going to be the role model she deserves, and I'm going to be her protector like my brothers and my fathers were for me. Period. I think I covered everything that needs to be covered, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm thankful for the subreddit for teaching me what a real family's about and for teaching me about boundaries and communication. With regards to the sister going to therapy, Opie said in the comments, I forgot to mention she did go from 7 to 10 years old. Originally, it was a doctor who spoke to her once a month from 4.5 to 6-ish, but she learned how to say exactly what they wanted to hear. So they discontinued the need for visits. Ooh, people who like claim to be, like they claim to have been healed and they know exactly what to say to like a therapist. More common than you might think. As for the fiance, he knows. I texted him a long text and voice message and we talked on the phone for 2 hours. At the end, he kind of just shrugged it off. In hindsight, I think he was in on it. Honestly, they kind of deserve each other if that's the case. He also displays some concerning traits. Okay, cool. I always wonder what it would be like if two narcissists were like together, you know? Do they just manipulate each other constantly? I think this video was definitely like an interesting sort of window into the, like, what causes someone to have narcissistic traits, right? It makes sense that she feels like she was neglected as a child, but at the end of the day, it's also like, just because someone's had a difficult childhood, that's not your responsibility. This is an A1 lesson on how to communicate and express boundaries. To anyone dealing with a narcissist, take note. Subscribe!